Remember that nagging feeling in your head when you have just stepped out? Have I left the AC on? Did I switch off the lights? What if the steam iron is on? Did you know that any device that uses electricity can be put on a home network? And with the help of that nifty little smartphone or tablet, you could control this whole network of devices. Welcome to the world of smart homes. Franchise India, in association with Schneider Electric, brought together industry experts and stakeholders for a special forum on smart homes.
A smart home can be a home which has got some of the simple conveniences which today's lifestyle demands. For example, security in the home, safety in the home, and connectivity in the home, because these are the three things which we need on a daily basis.
Smart home somewhat is a bit intimidating, so we want to make it simple.
They need to be integrated as a necessity into a space, and that's how we probably see it in the way we use it in projects.
In order to create luxury, technology plays a very important role. It's not necessarily about using expensive materials like marble, silk, wallpaper, expensive bathroom fixtures. But in these smart homes, there is a lot of automation that takes place.
So it is about basically bringing in from simple basic necessities to building up a lifestyle around technology-enabled conveniences.
Everywhere in the world, we bring more and more simple devices that are more and more connected to an app, to your phone. And somewhat what we are launching today is exactly that, which is a simple smart home solution that will somewhat remove a lot of the fear that is around smart home and make it finally simple and accessible for you and me as a consumer, and putting really India at the center of our smart home strategy.
India continues to be very interesting.
The introductory session began with Srinivas Chebi, Vice President Partner Projects and Eco Buildings, giving a keynote presentation on the key drivers in the space of smart homes in India.
What are the few things which have been basically driving the lifestyle of the consumers in India? There's rapid urbanization, of course. This rapid urbanization has driven the consumers to define a new lifestyle. There's a huge rise in the consumer sentiment, which means that the consumers are believing that this is the place where they will continue to have a good rising income, and then their demands are increasing in line with that. There's a huge demand in the lifestyle of consumers. At the same time, there are huge technological changes which are basically impacting in our lives in India. The mobile telephony and the smart home, look at some of the numbers, it's basically amazing. We're talking about 60 million. And then we are talking about Internet of Things, which is basically another technology which is going to impact the way in which we live, work, and then play. India continues to be a very interesting luxury market, which means the affordability is increasing, the lifestyle is increasing, the consumer demands are increasing, and what was considered as unaffordable luxury today is becoming affordable luxury. Coming back to the homes, if you see, when there was a survey done in 11 cities, about 3,000 people, compared to the last year, there is 1/3 increase in the number of people confirming that they will be buying a home in the coming 12 months' time. The affordability has increased dramatically. The demands have increased dramatically, and at the same time, the cost of many of these technologies has come more and more towards the consumer and then made affordability very possible. When you look at basically some of the issues with respect to the population what we have, and then with respect to the number of high-rises, because when the density is high, when the number of habitable space available, infrastructure land available is low, you basically have a very huge number of high-rises coming in there. I think what lies ahead of us is that a huge opportunity. When you look at basically the smart technologies which are powering the disruption, you combine that with the higher perceived value of the smart home, because the smart homes today are perceived to be of a very high value, and it's all about basically all of us clarifying the air around the smart home. What is it? How affordable it can be? How flexible it can be? How scalable it can be? And of course, this, when you combine, I think there is a huge, huge opportunity lying in front of us.
The keynote was followed up by a panel discussion moderated by Anil Chaudhary, Managing Director and Country President for Schneider Electric. The panel sought to demystify the world of smart homes, exploring aspects of efficiency, safety and sustainable living.
So I think I will start first with Mr. Jubin. What are those, kind of concepts which you are being asked to look in from technology point of view, the comfort point of view, from the efficiency point of view, from sustainability point of view? What are those kind of, new trends which you are taking into consideration?
See, smart homes honestly is a very complicated term, especially among higher end clients. You've noticed a lot of the higher end clients, they say you want anything but a smart home, which is quite unfortunate because most of them have had probably not the right kind of experience. It needs to be like electricity. It is either on or it's not. There's always a fear among extremely high end clients that what if it doesn't work? What if I tell somebody that I'm going to press this button and the lights will switch on and it doesn't happen? What do? I need a backup for that. The moment you design for a backup, that means you're not really creating an efficient platform in the first place. What is very, very important as a designer's point of view or as an architect's point of view, we've realized is we want to simplify the process for a client. We want to work with companies that are extremely serious in terms of what they can do. Ideally, brands that really show their commitment towards developing smart homes. These are serious companies that can deliver what they are promising. And there is no limit to what the requirements are when it comes to a smart home. So that is where the biggest fear is.
As Mr. Jubin has said, the customer needs and trying to offer something to the customer where efficiency, the smartness is much more important than the cost. How do you take those kind of input and what kind of questions or requirements customer may be asking to you when you are designing your projects?
Firstly, I think that our country is not so evolved when it comes to all these new technologies. Many times we are educating our clients that these kind of things are even available. Now, once we explain to them, they usually go for it. What we've seen is that the luxury of controlling air conditioning, lying down, it becomes disastrous when it fails. And this has happened quite a few times. In the near future, it's definitely going to trickle down because and more it becomes popular. And so it's pretty evident that it is getting down into grassroots levels as well. But that's it. It's pretty basic now.
This is where you are translating those technology and dreams into reality as a developer. What are the kind of challenges probably are coming in when you are developing those smart homes and looking for the requirements of that as a developer?
As a developer, I feel this is just another amenity. When we try to sell them an amenity like a swimming pool or a health club, which is a part of the layout, is still accepted. But when you try to sell an amenity of a smart home, it's only for tech-savvy young generation which actually understand that kind of amenity, but not exactly a lot of other elder people.
What are customer expectations when it comes to an architect, when the customer comes in? How much weightage he is giving to all those probably standard applications in terms of the overall security which the smart homes provide?
When a customer comes, honestly, most of them come saying we don't want a smart home. But the reason we want to instill a smart home, so as to speak, is so that it is more convenient for doing something. It is not an add-on, it is a necessity. The second part of the question, our concern, also what a client's concern is when you're talking about security, for instance. Any vendor could be supplying a lock and you may be having this amazing system which is supposed to ensure that when you press this button, the lock at your main door shuts. But you allow any vendor to supply a lock. I don't think that is the right process. It is very critical that these things are very, very tight.
I think I rather keep technology to the basics, especially when it comes to all those ones where you're integrating everything together.
Honestly, like now HomeKit has been announced a year ago, I think, by Apple. And for a fact, we know that once they come into picture, if they say, okay, 4-5 of these products are going to talk to each other, we know it'll talk. So I think what is critical as integrators, also as architects, what we need to probably do is ensure that there are enough routes, raceways, whatever, just ensure that there is enough that you can add on.
I think what the point which you are raising is very important, because you have to have a reliable organization, company, a open technology, a connectivity which is much more easy. So this is where what I hear from you, that simple, connected, and more importantly, that tomorrow you call, there is somebody to respond to it.
Like I made a project in Indore. You know, he's there, he's done the stuff, and then next day he's not there because there were not enough sales, so he's packed up. Since you are a solid company, you should have authorized agencies there that's going to stay. After next 10 years, this is going to be a big scene.
I think it's a very important input, and then definitely we are one of those companies which are here for years.
So I'll end up working with just 1 or 2 companies. I've tried them all out.
Yeah.
I know that these companies are here to stay and they have been there for the last 10 years. So they're the ones who have work service providers, the in-house engineers, and they're able to troubleshoot. So these guys who are able to do it in a small micro way for a home are the only guys we choose to depend on.
One of the linked question with this is, as a developer, as a builder, how much value it creates for your project if you are going to a customer and saying that, yes, I'm building it, but I have an option coming from a reputed company and giving you all these options. That's how you see the customers looking at that value.
The more it's used by a lot of consumers, the developers will definitely start putting it in their projects, and I think we'll have much more reliable companies coming. Considering that there are already reliable companies, I think the consumer definitely wants a smart home. There are 2 basic criteria that they have. One is security. I think these kind of automations should be really secured, and it should not probably, this is one of the biggest concerns, that it should not go into the wrong hands. Probably if it goes into the wrong hand, that's one big problem. And the second is the efficiency of using it. So probably, again, these are the 2 biggest challenges. If security and if the convenience of using this product is fine, developers would not mind using it. It's once again a reliable company. You just have it, they install it, and probably that entire file can be given to the society that's going to come in the future, and they can manage it in the future only if there's a proper reliable company. For us, once again, it's an added amenity, and we would probably go one step ahead in giving the maximum comfort, and whatever is today's trend, we as developers will definitely try to provide it.
I have a question for you. What are you doing about, being Schneider? Say he has made a project which has smart homes. He's handed over to the society. And then after that, the society or the members need constant service. When something breaks down, are you there at their beck and calls, or are you just selling the technology and then?
As a company, when I'm selling technology, what we are selling is probably not only this application, but the Schneider Electric brand. And today, as many of you are aware, the Schneider Electric solutions, they run from when you are in the house, starting from smart homes, starting from all your security needs, starting from operating your lift, the availability of energy. So when we are deploying the technology, what we are committing is a long-term commitment of providing not only the services when you need it. Today, Schneider Electric in India, we are directly present in more than 100 cities. Our existence as a technology provider and to be part of the infrastructure development in the country, that our commitment is more on providing the services, migrating the customer with the new technologies, upgrading the customer as the technology goes on. That's the kind of commitment we have in this.
So in these 100 cities that you're talking about, you have trained technicians who are able to troubleshoot.
We have service center, we have 24/7 availability of technicians, supported by expert, and sometime in these kind of things you have 24/7 call center. So service is an important commitment of Schneider Electric, not only in the smart homes when we are selling, even any technology which we are providing, this is fully backed by technology point of view of Schneider Electric brand and service point of view, much more in that kind of commitment.
The panelists also came together to launch a consumer survey on smart home. second half of the forum saw Alok Deshmukh, General Manager, Energy Efficiency Team, Schneider Electric, share insights on energy efficiency in urban homes and how smart homes can help reduce the impact on our environment.
I'm going to talk about how all of this converges to business value as well as good by the society, good by the environment. What we do with our buildings and our homes and how we bring them together actually can make a significant difference to the overall electricity scenario in the country. We could reduce the future electricity demand if we do our energy efficient homes right by about almost 60%. But I want to change track a little bit and talk about, so does this really make any business sense at all? Any new establishment that we come up with, we can actually save 50 to 75% energy compared to business as usual at no added cost. Now, the key is that this only works if you work at it with an integrated design, whole building design approach, and you take the right steps in the right order. What does it take in terms of doing this is you reduce the loads on the systems that provide the services in the homes. You meet those loads efficiently. This is where your system design, your efficient controls and all of these things come in. And then you use clean energy. So the key really is integrated building design and costing. So, I want to end with saying, performance intrinsically matters to us, but the feedback needs to be very meaningful and it needs to be actionable. It's smart to be green, and being green is smart, and it actually is a convergence of a multiplicity of issues that we have, our social responsibility, the business case is there, we can do a lot about carbon and emissions, and it's a great differentiator.
Schneider Electric has existed since 1836. Cities are getting bigger and our lives...
The talk on energy efficiency was followed up by a joint statement on Schneider Electric's vision for smart homes and the solutions on offer in India.
Our work, personal and home lives are becoming digital. Cities are getting bigger and our lives are becoming more complex. We want the ability to manage our homes from anywhere we want. We use mobile devices in nearly all aspects of our daily lives. We should be able to interact with our homes using our mobile devices from anywhere in the world. We should be able to interact with all aspects of our smart home on a single platform. We want to empower the end user, provide the end user with comfort through lighting and temperature control, and closely link these with safety and security. And with all of this, it must be sustainable. So what's our journey in this space? Schneider Electric has existed since 1836. Since then, leading technologies from various countries have been brought together. And as smart space has developed, Schneider Electric has developed alongside. So now let me introduce Anju to discuss how we designed our solution.
Home is where we love, which our feet might leave, but not our hearts. Keeping this thought and a principle in our minds, we are trying to build a solution where we are bringing in the global expertise adapted locally. When we asked our Indian consumer, we try to understand their aspirations, their need and their desires, which very clearly and categorically explain to us that security, safety, sustainability is primary for them. Understanding all these needs and desires, we have built a solution which is primarily going to take care of the security, the comfort, convenience, sustainability, and the solution would be used here.
And to top of the evening, Philip Delorme, Executive Vice President of Schneider Electric, unveiled a specially created smart home to the excited audience members present at the forum. This was followed by an interactive demo of the smart home.
I want to control my AC. Let's walk into the bedroom now. You can switch off or switch on all the lights. If I'm sitting in the living room, I can switch off all the lights to save energy. I open the door for him.
We are very strongly present in smart cities because this is where we have all the building blocks of smart cities, be it smart energy, be it smart water, be it smart transportation, be it smart safety, security and surveillance and beat smart emergency services. So for us, this is a further enabler for the vision of smart cities in India.
We need smart sustainable homes, we need green homes where we can actually save a lot of energy. Otherwise, India is still not that energy efficient that it can actually supply to that kind of smart home. So if you have that kind of energy that can be saved, sustainability, then smart homes has a great future.
I think it's a very much required today to resource ourselves and prepare ourselves with so much of development happening. I think it's a very positive move from the Schneider, and I genuinely feel that India is now ready for the smart homes.